Welcome back to Thanksgiving, dudes. This week,
Did you say Thanksgiving, Penny?
Yaman is not here. Instead, we have our new friend, Pablo Blue Beetle from Blue Justice. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. I really do appreciate it.
So how'd you get into this line of work?
I killed a guy back in my home country. I had to, get out of there.
Would you say you got into America via a caravan of sorts?
All right.
Yeah, actually, I don't know how you knew that. That's kind of scary. But yeah, so I came here looking for work.
It was the Crimson Caravan.
And it was the Crimson. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what they called it, because I'm in that show that you guys say I'm in.
It's not a show.
Absolutely.
It's from Fallout New Vegas.
The fuck is it?
What
is it?
Well,
the thing I just mentioned, the Crimson Caravan, is from Fallout New Vegas. What I mentioned before was from Young Justice. It was Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes.
We're really crossing our franchises here. Speaking of
Fallout, a lot of things going over my head here. My throat hurts, and I sound like this, and I like it, but it's temporary.
I just
so
can't
don't
get
get used to
over.
it.
You should record every possible line of dialogue you think you will say for the rest of your life, and just have a voice box speak for you for the next 90 years.
Man, this selfie I took is really taking off. It's going places.
Shut the fuck. That is the most bragging, humble brag I've ever seen.
It's really very rare that
let me just drop how well my selfie's doing.
I've
really
just been
quick.
looking at it, and I'm like, damn. I got a bunch of really small-time photographers in New York DMing me, and I'm not at all interested.
You're gonna get kidnapped and murdered.
It's just the idea of going back there makes my skin crawl.
If I send you, you getting people asking you if they can send you your underwear for prints of your face.
I think I brought this up before. In this again, I need to come up with what's the word? Bunch of letters that represent words. Acronym.
Words? Yeah.
That's yep.
Yeah.
Like the FBI or something. Why are you laughing? It's just something common that I forgot. Sorry, I'm not a genius like you.
Nobody, calm down. Nobody was. Jeez, why are you getting all defensive?
It sounded like he was laughing.
I
can't understand what he's saying because the connection is really bad. And he's drunk. But there should be one for that. But it's just I forgot. Never mind. I have completely forgotten what I was saying.
You're just bragging about how good looking you are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Have you ever measured the circumference of your biceps? You want to mention that now?
The circumference of my biceps. It's probably very little because I haven't been working out as much.
Oh, it's a shame that you haven't.
I'm not an Armene, all right?
We just assumed you were a fitness god and that you could just always flex for us, but I guess we'll have to find
I feel
else.
like the minimal amount of exercise that I do is enough to keep me sort of baseline for usually most of the time, but lately I've been doing not enough, and it's making me very sad.
Do you run? You need to do aerobics?
No, I fucking hate cardio.
Running does suck. I agree with that. It's not a good time. You know what else sucks? Fallout 76. Not a good game.
Oh god.
Garbage. Broken.
It is amazing how quickly people turns from those Bethesda games, Fallout, Skyrim. It's cute that they have bugs, It's cute that things don't work.
Is it amazing though?
What's up?
I don't know if it's anything like I completely understand why. It's not crazy to me that people are mad on a 90-degree angle about these things, but I don't know. People seem to be pointing what happened to Bethesda and all these video essays that they make is just here's the fall. It's everybody saw this. It's you witnessed someone fall down a flight of stairs and there was 100 people witnessing it. It's just here's exactly where this started. It was this banana peel.
Yeah.
In the other room, he was told that his father had died, and that really threw off his center of balance.
It's so out of place for Bethesda though. That's what keeps on picking at me. Bethesda doesn't make shitty games. They don't make mistakes like this. Bethesda's the type to delay a game rather than put out a completely broken.
They put out Fallout 4, which was not broken, mind you, but it's not amazing.
What game?
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 was not completely broken.
Not at all. That's not what I said.
Regular bugs, maybe, like every other game. But even if they made a broken game like 76, I felt like it was Bethesda's thing would have been apologize and say they made a mistake and that they're going to work harder or something like that. They're just fuck you don't get refunds. You ordered that, what was it, the legendary $200 pack, and we gave you a fake bag.
You bought this giant-ass stupid plastic helmet because you're a bunch of dumb idiots and you're not getting any refunds.
Those that don't know. This is a video game called Fallout 76, and there was a version of the game you could buy called the Collector's Edition, and it was $200, and in that Collector's Edition was promised a little bag that was made of what? Canvas, they said?
Canvas, yeah.
And then the thing they shipped was made of nylon, which is a cheap piece of plastic, which is bad for
And
bags and stuff.
When somebody complained to support, he said, what are you going to do about this? And their response was, the original material was too expensive, so we made them out of nylon. We're not going to do anything about this. That was the response.
I remember what the reply was, but the way you said it was, what are you going to do about it? Like
Yeah,
it was Bethesda's response.
It's so fucked. It's so fucked.
Yeah. So?
I think it's even worse now because this is an online-only game. In a single-player game, you could just be like, oh, yeah, there's some bugs, but like I can just like push past that because it's not like I have to care about how well I'm doing or anything. But in this game, you do have to worry about that. You're sharing a server with 19 other people and yourself, so 20 people. And not only that, along with bugs, you have to deal with the garbage performance. I saw videos that on the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, it would drop to like 15 frames per second.
Horrible.
For
All the
some
videos.
instances.
I've not seen a single video where there hasn't been a glitch.
Yeah, like, not only that, it's that, let's take Fallout 76 and Destiny, for example, right? Kind of similar, always online, looter shooters, whatever you want to call them. Destiny,
That's a fair comparison.
very shallow at launch, everyone knows that. But the reason that Destiny was so addicting in the first place, and then not everyone like hated it immediately, is that Destiny just feels really good to play, right? Like shooting a gun in Destiny feels incredible. Shooting a gun in Fallout 76, any Fallout in general really, feels like dog shit. It feels like you're dragging your thumbs through a bag of needles, and at the same time, the needles are slowing down because they can't keep up with how much skin they have to stab. So
That was the weirdest
That was
allegory
okay. I was
I've ever
all
heard.
on board. I was like, yes, the shooting is not as satisfying.
And then you were like,
76.
needles.
You're like, it's like punching a bag of needles in the throat.
It's like solving the Hellraiser puzzle while you're on the moon.
Yeah, like,
Got it. Totally great. That's an amazing allegory.
But it's not
I think
good.
you mean
It's
is
not-
it's
the
not
shooting-
satisfying.
the
It doesn't
shooting-
feel like you're shooting
yeah.
a gun so much as you're doing one of these. It's very little animation. I think that changed in Fallout 4 though. That
it changed in
game
Fallout
gave
4.
you
It was
some
better.
satisfying animations.
It was better, but it was not nearly as good as
Specifically-
it needed to be, especially for a multiplayer game.
I have a list of like great guns that I can think of in video games, like the Magnum from Halo 1, or like in Doom 2016. There are just so many meaty guns.
Every gun. Dude.
Every gun. But in Fallout 4, the stock standard, the 10mm pistol is just this meaty fat gun that just gives you amazing kick and it just feels good. Like I didn't want to use any other gun and I didn't want to attach anything else because it just felt so good to use that one.
That's since we're on the topic, not to change games, but like every single gun in Red Dead Redemption 2 feels meaty, sounds meaty. When you hit the person, it looks meaty. It's incredible.
Rockstar does the realistic version of getting shot so well.
That's like
And
the
also,
whole thing.
not to just jump completely onto Red Dead, but there's a mechanic where, so you can shoot someone in like the liver or the heart, and they might like continue fighting, but they've got a little skull over them. That means they're gonna die. If you just
gonna bleed
stop
out.
shooting them, they will drop dead eventually. It's just so cool like that. But anyway, yeah, Fallout 76, some dick.
It's just a real shame. And for those that like aren't super familiar with this, the game was like $60, right? So they were selling it as like a full-fledged game, like experience. A week afterwards was Black Friday, and like those deals immediately. It was 33% to 50% off at like some retailers, depending on where you went. GameStop had it for $40. I saw like some online stores for PC. I think it even went down to 30 in some places. That's insane. A week after.
That's insulting. That's insulting to the consumer, to the
It's-
ones that paid 60 a week before.
Because you know that like people are aware of things, so they were aware of what it was like when they put it out. So they were like, "All right, let's see if we can get away with." Nope, we can't get away with 60. All right, let's drop this down.
It's like, oh, what's that? The sales are half is what they were when Fallout 4 launched. Oh yeah, we should put that on sale right now. Then fuck everyone
Yeah,
that paid
it's-
$60 for this game. We need to recoup the losses as quickly as possible. And yeah, it's not working out for them. From
Not
what
just-
I can tell.
the fact that the game doesn't work, but most of the core mechanics, like not having any other people, having it be like emphasis completely on being a multiplayer game. Otherwise, you're not going to see other things or something to interact with. You're just going to pick up tapes. What was that shit about? Picking up tapes and just listening to 20-minute dialogue segments?
I hated that in general. I hate that in every game. If you make a game and, like, tapes or notes are important to the story, fuck yourself. Like, if it's extra stuff, great. Thank you for putting extra stuff for those who want to sit there and read your fucking book or listen to your hour-long tapes. Mm-hmm. But if it's part of the core story, eat a dick.
I feel like, is it because you usually are listening to something else while you're playing the game?
It's that, one, you could miss it. You can easily miss a tape or a note. Two, tapes are a bit better than notes. I don't want to stop, like you're in the middle of a game, to stop and to read these 2 pages that may or may not be important. That's the thing with these games with notes. If you pick up a note, it could be something interesting, it could be something important to the story, or it could be something completely irrelevant and boring. And you have to almost take the risk and read it because you don't want to miss something or you want it to be part of the story or whatnot, something like that.
The Fallout games are annoying that way, but in that you go from searching every crack and crevice to just like, I don't want to search every fucking file cabinet. I'm going to kill myself if I see another fucking file. But for like story stuff, you don't really have to listen to every, like the Nick Valentine questline in Fallout 4 where you have to find all the Eddie Winter tapes. You can just skip them. Your only objective is to pick them up.
Right.
That's
and
it.
That's good. But if in those tapes it was like,
there's a treasure trove.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Don't do that. That's mean.
But I think that's just like, I don't know if it's mean because you can go through a game with plenty of shit. There's no like something that you're missing in a little piece of note that you can't find if you just like, where's the secret god sword that I dropped? It's like, oh, it's back there in that note. You can just get it that way. But it's never going to be the god sword. It's going to be like a stash of caps, which is 19 caps and like a rusted 10mm pistol or something like that under a tree. So I feel like it's not terrible that the Fallout games have centered around stuff that you just root around for. Like most of those tapes, are just like world building. Like some dude's talking about, it's like, man, I really hope the atomic bombs don't drop out, and then he just kills.
Yes, yeah.
That's most of the tapes. Honey, I can't wait to come home and meet you and not like get bombed the shit out of by China.
It's a real shame. And not only is the game $60, there are also microtransactions in the game for you to buy like a $10 dress skin for your character and all this
the Creation Club is still there.
All this other cosmetic bullshit.
Also, the perk system. The perk system is little cards that you slot into like 6 slots. What the fuck?
Just everything
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I'm glad I have not bought it, and I don't think I will buy it unless this does like a massive like No Man's Sky, Destiny 2 kind of turnaround, you know? Which is a shame because the idea of
wait. So are you saying that the updates for No Man's Sky are akin to the change from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2?
I'm saying the changes to No Man's Sky are similar to how Destiny 1 changed over the course of its lifespan and how Destiny 2 changed over the course of its lifespan.
Like independently. Like he's talking about how like it started out kind of shallow and empty and then it became a full game later on.
Mm-hmm. I would say that Destiny 2 has sort of stayed the same, but up to you.
I didn't play Destiny 2 very much.
Yeah.
But I agree
just got
with
Destiny 2 for free
sure.
actually, but I've yet to play it. It was free on
Gold?
on PC for a while. Blizzard was just giving it away. It was like, hey,
Blizzard,
play Destiny 2. No one else is doing it.
Blizzard is giving away Destiny 2?
Yeah, because it was around the time when that expansion came out, so I think they just wanted to get people into the game to buy
Blizzard is giving away Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard.
Activision and Blizzard are the same company.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that.
I thought you just misspoke and I was trying to catch you, but you
Activision and Blizzard are technically the same company. If you go on the stock market, ATVI is their stock thing. It's Activision Blizzard. That's why on the Battle.net launcher on PC, you have all the Blizzard games, and not only that, you have Destiny 2, and now you have Black Ops 4.
Yeah,
didn't know that. Weird.
I thought Activision was the publisher, and I thought Blizzard was a developer.
Blizzard's both. They're both. Technically, kind of like Ubisoft, you know how Assassin's Creed is developed and published by Ubisoft.
Great comparison.
I just started playing Assassin's Creed Origins again, and I'm so glad. I missed it so much, dude. I got bored of fucking Red Dead Redemption. I get so bored of the story.
That's what
Wow,
I've heard.
really?
But it's
To be fair, I'm at chapter like 6. It just ground
still not
to
there
a
yet.
halt.
That's what I've heard. Is that it's too tedious and monotonous in a lot of places.
That's what
for
Donkey
people.
thought, and I didn't believe him. And I got there, and I was like, "Yep, fuck this. Oh my
Are you?
god."
Have you tried online yet?
No,
That went live yesterday or today. Or
I
something?
want to wrap up the story first.
Right, I can't wait that long because I'm playing way too slow.
It's
Normally I would
very
wrap up the
fucking
story.
Slow, man.
I can't do that. But
I know I should have completed the story before then, but I did make an effort to do that. It's just there's so much to do, and I don't know. I don't have enough time to do that.
yeah,
It's so annoying.
I mean, I'm hoping.
Kevin and I. Sorry,
No, you're
I just wanted, since we've been talking about Fallout, I wanted to say that Kevin and I were like, we need a new co-op game that we can both play. And then we thought for a second, and one of us was like, Fallout 76? And then we stopped, and then we both laughed for like a minute, and then we like moved on. Like, it was just a little funny moment.
I'm glad that Titanfall 2 exists so that I can sometimes
That's
play a
great.
good game once in a while.
It's so easy to go back to.
And also the campaign is like a movie that you really enjoy that you can every year or so that you can come back and really enjoy again.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just a fucking treasure of a video game that's so sad that the player base has dropped off. But not dropped off so much that you can't easily
You
queue
can
up a match.
absolutely still play.
It's craziness.
That level where you just jump through different like dimensions to like platform
Yeah.
and stuff.
When you're falling
Oh,
through
when you
the
have
fans.
the fucking the button
Yeah.
on your wrist,
Yeah.
right?
So cool.
That's
I used
so
to hate
fucking
that game like took a turn towards like time travel. And I was just like, what? No, I just want a mech combat game. But it was just a very small portion of the game.
Yeah, it was very brief. Yeah.
It's just so fucking fun to just fly all over the
They-
fucking place.
They are so good at making every mission fun. Like I think a game like that, I was worried it would have a Call of Duty like campaign where it
rails.
was like go from here to here, killing everybody
Yeah.
on the way, mission accomplished. Now here's some more story.
The factory
but like
level.
they were so fun. They were so good.
And I didn't expect to see this again, but it's definitely a tutorial because you get a new loadout gun every time you beat a section, and I forgot that was how that worked. It was just so seamless. It's like, yeah, here's another gun you can have, but I never switched off of the expedition one.
I know it was great. It's good as a tutorial, but also it felt sort of like upgrades or like you were
Yeah.
unlocking things. So
Like it
there
was
like this
reasonable why
element of
you'd have those
progression.
things, yeah. And also the relationship between Cooper and BT. Oh my
So
heart!
fucking
My
good.
heart.
How do they get so much out of a robot that people
The
can't
voice
do with
actor
a
was
person?
great.
I wish someone
So
would
good.
make a mod for that game where they put Iron Giant into the game in the place of BT.
I almost like both of them the same amount. I couldn't say that. Iron Giant is a little bit more of a kid than BT though.
Yeah, but like imagine Iron Giant just like crushing like a multiplayer map, like just doing a final like execution on some bot.
He only
And
says
you're
like,
just
3 or 4
Jesus
words.
Christ.
What's the name of the kid in that movie? The Iron Giant movie?
I don't remember.
Corduroy or something? Fucking Elliot.
He's named after a material.
He's named after the bear from that book as a kid.
Hang on.
Fucking. His name is Rorschach. Fucking Batman. I really can't think. I'm looking at comic books under my TV. I'm like,
it takes place in Maine. God, what a boring.
yeah,
state.
it's a
his
coastal
name is
area.
Hogarth.
Yes, the weirdest name ever.
That is a weird name, except for the
His
fact
mom
that,
works in a diner, and then he gets a little squirt thing of whipped cream and puts it in a Twinkie that's already full of whipped cream. And he's just like stuffed it until it's bursting, and then he shoved it in his mouth. It's a good movie. It's a good movie, man.
Damn.
The movie that he watches when he's not supposed to be watching scary movies or eating sweets, the one where the little like brain thing latches onto the dude's face, the scientist, and it's like the 1950s. That actually scared me as a kid.
There was a lot of shit that scared me about that movie as a kid.
Yeah.
Spy Kids was also a little scary with like those random monsters that terrorize the
The
island.
thumb monsters.
Yeah, dude. Fucked me right up. Goosebumps actually was kind of scary as a kid. Not gonna lie, that shit fucked me up.
The one where the slime that just grows and they put it in the Tupperware and hide it under their beds, but it just explodes the house.
My scariest one was the one about the mask, the Halloween mask. Something to do with
Yeah.
I don't know what it was
I read the
about
book of that.
masks that always scared me.
The one where he couldn't take it off?
Yeah.
Was it that one?
No, that's a Jim Carrey movie.
No, shut the
Well, I mean-
I'll stab you.
That too. That was scary in its own way.
No, that was awesome.
I remember thinking it was
don't think I've ever
really
seen
weird
it.
as a kid, and I think it's still kind of weird.
I liked it a lot.
Did you
It
ever
was
see
the first appearance of Odin and Loki in the MCU.
I'm not so sure about that one, Chief.
That's literally in the movie, but okay.
I just remember. Did you ever watch Son
Nick
of the
Fury
Mask?
shows up at the end and recruits Jim Carrey.
You ever see the fantastic sequel, Son of the Mask, starring a baby and
I'm sure I did. It was probably on FX at one point.
A man who never acted again.
Sam who?
A man who never acted again. It is.
Yeah, that's not what I said. Sam who?
I'm trying to look at this dude's name. Alan Cumming, Loki. Oh,
You guys remember Real Steel?
Wasn't
Real
it the
Steel.
boxing movie?
Yeah,
with
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman movie. I love that movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
I had the fucking shitty 360 game.
I was
which
gonna
loved.
say,
I
yeah,
saw
they
that.
made a
I only had the
360 game.
demo though, and it only gave you one fight, and it was against Ambush.
Oh, it was the demo. That's right. Maybe I didn't have it. It was just the demo.
I just remember that was one of the first games I played on live.
God, it was so fun.
What was the? First
I want a
game?
real I also both Real Steel and Pacific Rim immediately after seeing the movie brought me to the Xbox Live Marketplace just to find that game of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Never could find a good one for Pacific Rim.
Well, not until Titanfall came out. That's the closest you could get.
Totally, yeah. Not big enough though. You were talking about how in the group chat how there has not been any good anime adaptations to movies to live action. And I couldn't think of any real ones, but I would say tonally and based on the source material of Gundam, I would say that Pacific Rim is one of my favorite movies of all time, and that has a place in manga and anime. Just the giant mech suits.
But that's its own adaptation thing, though. I wouldn't say that's
totally.
a direct
Yeah, I'm just saying
adaptation
I
of
couldn't
any
think of
anime.
another example besides that. But now that Cowboy Bebop is going to be a live action show,
Can we talk about that and why that's a terrible idea?
it's never, and I've said this 700 times, it's not required to adapt animation to live action in any sense of the word. I can't understand why people have that idea.
It never works out. And Netflix especially has this weird fascination with turning beloved anime into live action things. They've done it with
How many
Full
times have
Metal
they done it?
Alchemist. They've done it with Bleach. They've done it with Death Note was the big one they pushed. All of them really bad. I do not
They'll
understand.
look like a fan film that crowdfunded $1.5 million, and then they put that together. I did like that they got fucking Green Goblin as real.
Yeah,
We can
right?
rule this city, light.
They get weird amounts of high paying very expensive talent, and then the movie that's all they spend their money on. They don't spend money on the script or the story or the effects to make it look halfway decent. That Kim Possible
it looked
movie.
good. The CGI for Ryuk was fine.
He was fine, but
I would rather they have done something really terrifying like makeup for a really thin, tall actor. That would have been cool.
the Full Metal Alchemist live action
Fucking
movie,
creepy as shit when they had the dog girl, the homunculus or whatever it is.
yeah. Not
remember
only that, but your main characters.
They didn't move Al at all because they
No.
couldn't afford to move the suit of armor.
looks off.
So bad.
And the regular dude who's just a regular person is the cheapest looking wig.
Edward?
It's seriously, yeah, it looks like he's wearing a cosplay jacket.
Straw blonde wig.
Yeah, it's rough.
It was pretty bad.
It's
And there was also a bunch of controversy about that because the show and the manga I think is set in Germany or something like that, and they didn't have German speaking people. There was some weird people angry, but I think it was people lashing out about how people will be angry that someone from China isn't being portrayed as someone from China. They'll get I don't know, some dude named Andrew Cummings to play some dude who's supposed to be from China, but they won't be mad that some dude from Japan is playing a German dude in this certain thing. It was just a bunch of, I think, angry people.
Well, that's an interesting case. In the case of an anime adaptation, that's hard because you're taking an animated character that may be intended to be European, but then everything else about that is Japanese. So you're if we hire
I think it was just a
Japanese
bunch of
person-
people trying to do an equivalency thing. It's just well, I mean, if racism is bad, then why is this thing that's not racist bad?
I think if they were to do a Cowboy Bebop live action casting,
And Spike, I don't even know what he would do.
I don't think you would I think
My Valentine, Mai is a Eastern name.
yeah, I think Spike. I think
Spike
everyone
Spiegel.
would be could feasibly be American. you know, or like Western European, whatever. Like,
I think the inspiration for Spike's look, at least, was based off of a Japanese movie character. So maybe I really don't honestly care what they go with.
Yeah, I don't necessarily care either way, but from a like race politics angle, I wonder what the thoughts and like the discussion around that is. Like, what is the proper quote unquote way to go about that? Not that I put too much stock into like what woke, like,
I guess you'd have to ask
woke
the creator.
Twitter.
He's still alive, and he's going to be sourced for the movie or the live action show. So
I just remember that they're also doing a live action version of Avatar again.
They also did a live action version of Teen Titans, and I've just recently watched a couple clips of that, and it's pretty iffy.
Apparently, you said you've seen some clips. I've seen apparently some reviews of that show say it's pretty decent.
That's what they say. I would say that the lead, Dick Grayson, is I like him a lot. But then I saw that Jason Todd is in the show, and I watched a clip of that, and it was okay. It's just like a lot of okayness. I like that they had the Doom Patrol, which is Beast Boy's original team.
Yeah.
They have Robot Man. They have Mr. Negative, not the one from the Marvel thing, but he's this guy who's like mummified, and he's got negativity powers. And then there's this girl who's melting, and there's a bunch of interesting characters. There's also Hawk and Dove. I think Hawk is played by Alan Richson, who was in Laser Team.
A lot of people also think that things like Arrow and The Flash are like the most amazing thing in the world. So I think that's how low the bar has been set, and that's what people are judging it off of.
The quality shifts so much in Titans. It goes from like, I don't know, a really well shot, like panning shot to like this really crappy, like for a fight scene, a panning shot. It's like one shot fight scene. And then it'll go to like this 37 cuts, and there's a bunch of shaky cam. It's like, God damn it, just make up your minds.
Like, no part of any DC CW show, no single episode is as good as any moment in Daredevil Season 3.
God, it's so fucking good.
Like, it's impressive how not only is Daredevil Season 3 better than all of those shows, Daredevil Season 3 is better than all the other Netflix Marvel shows by a mile. It's amazing how easily you can tell, too.
It's as good as some of the worst movies, like better than Ant-Man.
For sure. Daredevil, I consider Daredevil like in the upper echelon of like MCU things, for sure.
Characters, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then there was, fucking, can't remember his name. I don't know. Some person I follow who follows someone else on Twitter. They were saying like, is there a way that I can skip past all of the Karen Page scenes in Daredevil? And it was a pretty recent tweet, so I assume they're talking about Daredevil Season 3, and I was just like, that's like the strongest version of any of the female characters in the entire history of those shows. Like, it was amazing how well done that was.
Yeah, like, it's kind of a weird thing to say, but
I know, yeah, you sort of thought it was a little like mean in a certain way, and I was just like, maybe. It did have that weird bite to it that I was just like, damn.
It's pretty easy for, especially in like male-oriented shows, for female characters to like be seen as like annoying, and for people to like latch onto that. I think Skylar from Breaking Bad is the obvious example of that, where people were like,
because she's made to be like annoying, I think.
Yeah, and also her husband was like a fucking like drug dealer, and
AMC was the king of that with Lori from The Walking Dead. Everybody fucking hated her. And also the other blonde woman who was dating the dude with the governor.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't notice
Amazing,
that,
right? Maybe AMC just hates women.
Yeah. Shit. Another thing about it. But yeah, regardless, that kind of commentary, unless you have like, people said similar things about Iron Fist Season 2 when Jessica Henwick kind of became like a more leading role, and she eventually, spoiler alert, got the Iron Fist herself. People were pretty upset about that. Which was like,
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot too. I was
also
surprised
liked how
that people didn't like it.
The arc with the brother. I mean, the brother of and the sister in that show, the brother and sister.
Yes.
The sister, how she
fucking-
just breaks off from them all and is just like, I'm gonna do my own shit. Give me my money and I'm gonna leave. That was awesome. And then she got her shit kicked in, but I really enjoyed it.
I love Ward. Ward's my favorite character in that show.
Ward is awesome. He's played so fucking well. Like stupid levels of acting for this stupid show.
That actor really needs, like, his agent has got to find him like better, like,
He gave it all the beans, man.
yeah, better leading roles and shit.
Make him Daredevil. No, get somebody else.
I want to move on to a slightly more Yaman friendly topic, in that something I like know what this is about, but like, and we were talking about this earlier, but Yaman, what is the deal with this Dwight Howard thing? Is it real? Is it not real?
Is it real?
Because like I heard
I'm not
after
sure.
the fact that people said, oh, the woman who said Dwight Howard was hooking up with trans people was also selling a book simultaneously, which made it seem like there was a profit motive. I don't understand.
So I don't know about it that much, but so Dwight Howard, I believe he threatened some woman to keep their relationship quiet, and then people focused less on the fact that he threatened her and more on the fact that she was tranny.
To make homophobic jokes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And then
who's
there's
Dwight
fucking
Howard
asshole
for people
story.
that don't know who Dwight Howard is?
Oh, Dwight Howard is he's the center for the Washington Wizards basketball team.
Okay.
He's the receiver.
NBA.
Excuse you.
Excuse me?
He's the receiver.
Fucking stupid. Yeah.
That would.
And a lot of jokes
I
came out
could
of
see
that.
how someone might have heard that as like a homophobic joke, but I was trying to make it sound like I don't know what basketball is by saying a receiver for like from football.
Oh wait,
Anyway,
yeah, I just
continue.
realized.
I just thought of that, and I'm like, someone's gonna fucking nail me to the wall. Again, that sounds kind of bad.
again.
So
Just
some
shut your
guy's
mouth.
gonna nail you to the wall.
Shut your mouth. So I want to understand. Not only that, this woman came out and said all these things about him. He's been out for a buttocks injury.
Yeah, that's just the icing on top, isn't it?
Yeah, which
That's
led
for some
people
people,
to
I
believe
guess.
that Dwight Howard was engaging in, this is the most professional terms I can say this, engaging in anal sex with other people. And specifically
this
in the
in the
context
fucking-
of orgies, which is wild.
Where are you getting that information? I don't know where
From
you're
the woman,
getting all
I
that.
think. She
No,
was-
the
she
the
was-
the same woman
Yeah.
said like as a part of her thing.
Oh.
that
it was in
Dwight
her whole
Howard,
series of tweets.
yeah,
You wild.
he would go to like these like transgendered like orgy parties and just like go nuts basically.
I mean, if he hadn't been like a psychopath, I feel like people are focusing way too much on things that don't matter. Like, if he did have an ass injury, why do you care? That's not the focus of this. It's him being threatening someone, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's making it, and like, I think you said this, Yum, it's like, you send the tweet that was like, all the jokes that you're all making and you're wondering why someone would threaten someone else's life. Are you kidding me? That kind of thing. It was, yeah, it was
Exactly.
completely stupid on all fronts.
especially in an industry that is not very tolerant of
Nope.
the typical like masculine image.
A lot of
we-
toxic shit in that.
Yeah, we think of the NBA as
Yeah,
like
you
a
remember-
pretty diverse, set of people, but outside of like
It's-
racial politics, like sexual politics, is like not very progressive in that sense. I don't even know that there are any openly gay NBA players. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, I think they were football players.
this is something I should look up. Actually,
There was the football player that kissed his boyfriend during a press conference, and that drove people nuts. That was like a whole
Keep it
deal.
off the field.
God.
Yeah. I don't know if there is any. I'm sure there is somebody that maybe some bench player that nobody's heard of or something.
Oh, apparently there are a few. There's a YouTube compilation.
What is it called?
Wait, what? Wait, there's a YouTube compilation? Of
Gay
what?
Yeah,
basketball
literally called-
players dunking on
literally called,
homophobic basketball players.
Well, apparently the first Jason Collins is the first openly gay NBA player.
Neat.
So like, good for him. He plays for the Brooklyn Nets, or at least he did back.
Do you think
in,
that people are going to be like coming up to him with questions about this? I really hope not.
I mean, there's the
Absolutely. I think, and that's unfortunate that that's going to dominate like the news cycle of his
hey,
career
you're
for the
gay.
next season.
What's it like when this happens?
Yeah. And
there was do you guys know Anthony Davis, the basketball player?
No.
There was like a video when he first started out in the NBA, a video of him in the locker room, like with somebody like he was on the ground naked, and somebody was like slapping his ass or something, and like that resurfaced when this whole Dwight Howard mess.
Do you think that upset Anthony
came about.
Davis? He's just like, I've lived it down finally. Now that limelight is on somebody else. Oh God, it's on Twitter again.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. That seems. I don't know if you've seen it. It seems. I don't want to say worse, but like
There's a video
harder
of
to
it, so I
explain
imagine
than
it is
the
worse.
Dwight Howard could just say no, she's lying, but like
Speaking of Dwight Howard again, the guy who went on Twitter and said, "Fucking," he had that selfie with him and Dwight Howard, and then he was just
fuck that guy.
fucking
That's-
into the ground. What the? Why? He said, it was a picture of him, a selfie that he had taken with Dwight Howard, and then he said in the tweet, it was like, "Oh no, man! It's like I can't believe that Dwight Howard touched me with his homo ass hands or something like that."
Something like that. Like he took the time to
What
take a
the
picture with
fuck?
you fucking dumb idiot.
And didn't also John Wall, who's also on the Wizards, he
Yeah.
said something about Dwight Howard would always get excited when they went into the showers or something?
No, I mean that's a joke that a lot of people have been making, but
It's a hilarious joke.
that's definitely not something there's no fucking stop. That's definitely not something John Wall said.
Isn't he the reporter?
He's the point. No, he's the point guard.
Oh.
He's the best player on the. He's the superstar they have.
I wish
Yeah.
I knew more about that.
Not good enough because they're playing like some shit. But
Yeah, the Wizards are some ass. There was a choice quote from John Wall, actually, where he was like, the only wizard that's going to save us is Harry Potter. We're some ass.
yes, yeah, he literally said we're some ass. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
so
that's fucked up.
sad. Like, I don't give a shit about Dwight Howard, and honestly, like, based on his threatening, like, behavior, I feel like he's another typical case of these, like, super masculine guys who have grown up in this environment where
They've
you're
been told not to do
hyper-masculine.
certain things,
Yeah,
and then they discover they have feelings, and then they don't know how to do anything with it.
exactly.
Well, I mean, you say grown up like that was like, oh yeah, that's how it was years ago. It just happened
know.
that this news came out and he's getting trashed on. Like it's not
Yeah.
about how he grew up. It's about the times we live in still.
Yeah.
It's relevant still.
You know, things don't change. I mean, luckily there are more people today to defend him. At least defend him on that aspect, at least not the threatening aspect, his sexuality aspect. But within the NBA itself, I'd say even within most sports leagues, because it's basically dudes being dudes. It's always gonna be like, if you're not out duding each other, if there's even a sliver of you being not the most straight edge masculine bro you can possibly be, like, someone's gonna like give you shit for that. Like,
Yeah.
if your voice
It's Patrick.
isn't
It's like
deep enough.
it's like the joke that James does. That, it's like being super buff,
Yep,
tough.
it is like
Like,
that.
but
a
it's, like,
caricature
obviously
of
exaggerated
masculine
and a
person.
joke.
Like a wrestler. That's what he acts
Yes.
like.
Mm-hmm.
and it's sad.
Yeah.
I mean,
The heel.
it will be interesting to see what happens when he comes back. And
Did
I
he
also
go anywhere?
I'm telling you,
He's injured.
Well, he's out for an injury. It's like the buttocks injury.
That was the start of it?
No. It was like like he got injured. He's been out for like I don't know how long,
Is
a
there
few weeks or something.
I mean,
a few
surely
days,
it should
I don't know.
squash any rumors. Not that he needs to, obviously, but if there's footage of him getting the injury, was it off the court that he got the injury?
Apparently.
Oh, that must.
Yeah.
Wow.
So not But anyways,
People are so.
I'm telling you, it all depends on how he plays. I'm telling you, if he plays well, people are gonna focus on the fact that he's played well, that he's playing well, and not.
I wish that was true.
You'll see. Assuming he
I mean,
plays.
I bet I can already think of 6 jokes that somebody's gonna make.
Unfortunately,
Yes,
like,
but I can think of 600 jokes they're gonna make if he plays his chick.
Yeah, that's not what I
Yeah.
meant at all. But okay.
people are willing to overlook a lot if you are good at the thing they want you to be good at.
What's it
Freddie
called?
That is
Mercury
fact.
being a good example of someone who's openly gay in a time, obviously, where that was not acceptable. But he was
If you deviate
such an
from the
incredible
norm-
musician that people loved him anyways.
If
So
you deviate from the norm, but it's profitable, then it's not a bad thing or something like that. There was a quote.
yeah, that's exactly it. And in a way, back in the day at least, I think those kinds of people were almost necessary and did help bridge a societal gap for people who weren't okay with homosexuality to becoming more okay with that. And it's unfortunate that that was needed, obviously. And I don't think that's needed today. But at the same time, I think that same principle still applies where if you're good at what you do, the people will love you because you're good at what you do, regardless of who you are. I mean, people have forgiven a lot worse for a lot less.
Is he a bad player?
Dwight Howard's not necessarily a bad player, but the Wizards in general just kind of suck right now, so everyone's kind of soured on the Wizards. But like, I mean, just you look at the music scene, for example, and you'll find people that still love Chris Brown after everything he did. People that love XXXTentacion, even though he was garbage. And then when he died, all the people that freaked out about that and that conversation. And now that 6ix9ine is going to jail, people coming out of the woodwork saying that he doesn't deserve to because, like, these charges aren't that bad, even though...
What is racketeering? Isn't that what he got caught for? Isn't that like he had a bunch of guns that he wasn't supposed to have?
So this is totally separate to him engaging in sexual activity with a 13-year-old charges.
Oh yeah, that was.
Are you talking about 6ix9ine?
Oh my god.
That was 6ix9ine. Yeah. So aside from him being shitty in that regard, the feds, not even state or local police, so this is super serious. The feds are nailing him for racketeering charges, so like illegal guns, I think drugs also maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Depends what the case hasn't really even started yet. They've just laid the charges on him, and that's gonna get the ball rolling. But
I'm sure they were like, I'm sure they're like, we suspect he has guns, and they went in and found guns, drugs, 13-year-olds, just like all of it.
There was a doormat that said, "This house has guns in it."
Yep, this is our guy. Cuff him.
There was a gun taped to like the post outside his house that says, "Do not come in."
He wrote "Do not come in" with bullets. Like he
in
shot
a backwards
"Do not
D.
come in."
Your Honor,
Do
the
not
sign
come
clearly stated. But yeah,
Can you read B-U-D?
People come out of the woodwork for these shitty assholes to just say like, "Oh, their music really got me out of a bad place." Or, "Oh, like what they did wasn't like that bad."
I hate his
like,
music. Oh my god, I don't even want to get into that.
That's people will jump
through hoops all the way to the fucking moon for Hitler. If Hitler made an album that made them happy one time when they were sad.
Hitler was a great public speaker. He made great art before he was a dictator. Didn't you know that?
He was a great commander. Blitzkrieg was an incredible idea.
He was very personable. He owned a dog.
The thing is, there are people that really think like
he owned a dog.
There was the guy who tweeted it was like when people were defending Elon Musk for calling that dude a pedophile, and it was like Elon Musk and then a dude diving in front of a bullet, and it just said "stupid nerds," and then the bullets were like people shitting on millionaires or whatever. It's just like anyone will defend anything if they for some reason like one aspect of a person.
Exactly. Like people will
Which isn't to say you shouldn't continue liking that person, but you don't have to defend murder if you enjoy that person.
Yeah, like it's amazing. Not only will people go to bat for millionaires, people will go to bat for like multi-million/billion-dollar companies. Like there was this YouTube video game guy I follow wrote an article about how Nintendo's games are bad for people with disabilities, and he got like a ton of shit for that from like a bunch of Nintendo fanboys, and he was like,
"Bunch of fucking nerds."
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I offended Chex Notes, a multi-million-dollar company.
Oh yeah,
that regularly like takes down YouTube videos of anyone mentioning them at all.
Like, yeah, people should like whatever happened to rooting for the underdog. Like, root for the fucking environment. Like, the Earth is.
Do you
being
think that
destroyed.
has to do with Trump at all?
Do you think what?
What, Patrick?
Do you think that has to do with Trump at all? Just like all the people talking about winning. I don't know why you said underdog and it's like what happened to underdog, but immediately I thought of at the rallies when people would say winning. I know it's completely unrelated, but
no, I think you're onto something though. That there is a certain. He's kind of like invoked this weird boldness in people online, especially, where if you strongly.
Did you see? He retweeted a fucking meme.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m. Did
you
see that?
What did he retweet?
It was a meme of like a bunch of Democrats behind prison bars, and it was like, now that the accusations are false, when are they going to be charged for treason? And it's like the most cringe like Facebook stuff you could imagine, but it was on Twitter. But he is
literally America's like cringy Facebook uncle. except he's the
You're
president.
legit. Yeah.
But you're right, Patrick. I think most people now just have this notion that if you have this like fake confidence about you in defending something, that like that's all you need to like win the argument, quote unquote. Like it doesn't matter.
That works to an extent. But then it gets to a point where someone's like, "Okay, fact. This is a fact, sir." And they're like, "But that's not true, and I'm right."
Yeah, exactly.
And then
They'll
you're
just
like,
obfuscate.
They don't
I
even
don't
have
know
to
what
say
to say
that.
to
They
that.
could just say, "I don't fucking care."
Yeah, exactly. Like they could just like do some laughing emojis and like troll the shit out of you, and not
Looks
even
like I
give you a
triggered
real
you.
response. But that'll still like
That'll satisfy them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good enough for them.
Like it's all bullshit. Like all online communications is bullshit, and we should burn down every social media
Not
website.
even necessarily online. I feel like all communication has become like mired in
it's not online.
nothingness.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
everybody shouting into the void. Like I think the last time I even attempted to debate someone on something that like I thought that it would be better if they like understood this from a certain perspective, like 4 years ago or something like that. I don't do that when it's like a bad person. I just don't have the power in my head to like.
Yeah.
It's what is the fucking quote? I don't remember. Something about knowing when you can change things and when you can't,
Yeah.
or like you're not responsible for saving everyone or something like that.
Yeah. I would agree with that as well. Like it's just not worth getting into like, because like most of the time, if you're getting
You're
into
not
like a
gonna
little
convince them of
argument with
anything.
someone online, or even in person, like both of you know you're gonna walk away
Believing
with the
exactly
same
what you believe.
beliefs. Yeah, like you guys are just butting heads to butt heads, and unless like this is a formal, unless both of you or even at least one of you are open to like really actively trying to understand and like learn something about the other side, nothing's gonna change. And I think the key thing is that we have to get people to be more open, but more and more people are just closing themselves off because they just want to be right. They want to have that satisfaction. They just want
It's
to
like
dunk. Everyone
denial.
just wants to
It's-
dunk on
it's-
other people to make themselves feel bigger.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
You sounded so like official, like it was like a report, like some scientific study, and you were like, everybody just wants to dunk on everybody, man. Like,
This is my master thesis. This is what I'll be known for.
But I really enjoy, not that I super enjoy it, but like someone will be like something, and then someone will be like, I disagree, and then someone will be like, well, here's a reason why you shouldn't think that. It's like a fact, like you said, and then someone will be like,
Like
well,
a number,
here's
like
why
a solid,
I
like-
disagree with why that fact's a fact, and then you could say, well, here's another fact that backs up this fact, and here's the research for that, and then the person who was disagreeing will just stop responding, and people will be like, oh damn, you got him. I haven't seen him in 48 minutes. That means they're done. They gave up. But you know that they just became embarrassed, and now they're going to go to a different section of the internet where there are people who agree with them. They're going to I'mRight.com, that thing that Bill Burr says. It's just
yeah, it's like I'm sure I've brought this up before, but Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, the problem with the internet is that you can Google the Earth is flat and get 10 trillion results on how and why the Earth is flat, and so you don't feel like a fucking lunatic.
The thing is, you can link people to as much information as possible, and they will either say fake news, universities are all liberal, so why should I believe that? Or come up with any other myriad of excuses.
universities are all liberal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. You don't know?
Who
Like,
forgot to tell the college that I went to?
yeah, like, it's amazing. Like, people will say all academia,
It is, yeah.
as in, like, researchers and professors, are all liberal,
I love
so we
that.
can't believe them. That's what people say about the climate change researchers. They'll say, like, oh, they're all liberal. They're all in it for the money. Money coming from where? I don't know. But apparently, yeah, that's the reasoning.
You know, the biggest thing that makes those people, is like the closed-minded people, the fake news people, the biggest thing that makes them change their mind, sadly, is often trauma.
Yeah.
Like, they'll lose somebody close to them, and they'll go, wow, guns really are a problem. Or
You see
I
that
don't-
all the
like,
time, don't you?
they'll lose their house in a fire, and they'll
Exactly.
go, maybe the climate is changing. Maybe there's something wrong.
California's on
'cause
fire,
now
I
it's
don't care.
affected me.
There's a really good tweet that's like, whenever something happens like that, when it affects someone personally, it's like, wow, I never thought voting for the Wolves Eat Faces party would ever end up in a wolf eating my face. Like,
Yeah, it's yeah. It's like I saw a video. It's horrible. It was really hard to watch. A man standing outside a polling place with a picture of his daughter, or maybe it was his son. But he's talking about how, like, they were gay, and like he he like disowned them and this and that, and then they ended up killing themselves, and now he's there telling people to vote for someone who will support gay rights and support. It's like trauma is what gets the closed-minded people to change, and that's horrible. It shouldn't have to be like that.
It is pretty fucked up.
You hear about all these farmers
the,
that sorry to cut you off, Pat, but you hear about all these farmers that can't get enough work for the season because there are no more like illegal immigrants or immigrants in any shape or form coming over to like help and work on their farm, and they're like, wow, I didn't expect that voting for Trump to be harder on immigration would mean there would be less immigrants to help me work. It was like, what did you think was going to happen? This is exactly what you voted for.
The people that are like, that don't have health care anymore, they're like,
we'll tough it out for a while.
He said he was going to help us
Yeah.
when he got rid of our health care somehow. I don't know how, but he said he would.
You mentioning the guy going like, oh, if there's no immigrants, then there's nobody to work on the farms. Totally makes sense in that scenario because that is, yeah, whatever. But it just made me think of that one British talk show or whatever where the woman was like ragging on Trump, and then she said, oh, if you kick out all the immigrants, then who's going to be left to clean your toilet, Donald Trump? And then there was silence in the studio, and everybody was just like, what the fuck? And she was just like, just continuing, like, just stumbling with words, and she was just like, no, is it? And then it's just so cringy. That made me so uncomfortable.
The unfortunate truth is that, like, there are actually a lot of jobs immigrants will do that other people just, like, standard Americans will not fill. And that a lot of them are, like, labor-intensive, like, agricultural jobs.
Like, important
cleaning jobs. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, they're not taking jobs. They're just taking the jobs that none of us want to take, right? So it's sad for them because I think they should be able to get better jobs than that, but also sad in the fact that we're giving them so much shit and they are still doing the shit that we ourselves aren't willing to do. So it's just bullshit on like all fronts, basically, and they just get the brunt of the bullshit.
Is it a dog?
That's my friend Carly.
Oh, she was like, she was howling like a dog.
She laughs. I'm gonna tell her you said that. And she's probably gonna make her laugh again. It's funny because she's been asking all my friends that live in this building always ask if they can be on the podcast, and I'm just like,
oh, gross. You know that
you say no immediately.
No,
you should be like, haha, and then you should leave. But
it's boys only.
You know the thing I sent y'all in the group chat, the thing by Peter Schultz about the Christmas movies.
Oh,
it's a tweet.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like a generic ABC Family.
It's a tweet. As a relatively successful and busy man who lives in the city, my greatest fear is losing my girlfriend to a hometown hunk with a young son who teaches her the true meaning of Christmas. And I thought it was really funny. And those are the kind of movies that my mom watches. So I sent that to her, and without any other text. And she said, "Who is Peter Schultz?" And then I said, "No, it doesn't matter. The joke is about the movies that you watch." And she said, "Which I will continue watching, period," which I know that made her mad. And she said, "Today we had," and she's an elementary school teacher. She said, "Today we had a community builder where we had to guess which Christmas movie where some lines were from, and I won."
Oh.
Wait, was it like the students?
No, it was like the staff
teacher?
or something. It was.
Oh,
like,
okay, all right. I thought like the kids were playing, and she was like, "I know this one." She like.
I just thought it was funny because I was like making fun of her as I always do, and she was just like, "Yeah, well, I won. Fuck you."
Well, fuck you. That's so cute. I love that. Actually,
it was pretty
I
great.
like that a lot. All right. I'm gonna jump over to emails because I want to get to bed eventually.
We have like 7.
This one is from. Did I forget to? I don't know. I forget that we didn't do the podcast last week, so like we have quite a few emails. This one is from It's My Life. Oh no, Teddy. Sorry, I always read the username first for some reason. Juuling is fucking dope. I myself don't enjoy juuling because that shit hurts later. Call me a pussy, whatever. But in my high school, I read like the beginning to a poem. But at my high school, juuling is a huge thing. Literally, if you were to walk into any bathroom or empty non-teacher area, 90% of the time, you'll just walk into a cloud of jewel. It's actually a pretty big problem because there are kids that would bring CBD to school and vape it in the bathroom and then have like seizures or something. Our school is number 9 in the state for good academics, so it's kind of funny how many people have been dragged to the hospital for overdosing in the bathroom on acid-laced CBD. I think this is a separate problem
God.
from the Juul.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a bathroom at school and scared the shit out of some little freshman trying to fan away all the Juul smoke. Actually, the freshmen at my school are fucking crazy. There was this one time my friend saw 2 of them straight up smashing in the hallway, and they didn't even stop when she saw them. I mean, really, in the school hallway. You'd think they want to do it someplace that doesn't smell like anxiety, depression, and a hint of piss. Anyways, keep it up, y'all crazy kids, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Even though it's the most useless holiday, hot take. What are y'all thankful for? Thankful for this podcast. Thank you, Teddy. I'm thankful for that story. That was good. I don't condone having sex in the hallway, nor do I condone kids having seizures.
Keep that in the classrooms.
Yeah, keep it in class, kids. Do what you gotta do. But no, my sister, who I've said this before, but like at her high school, she's a freshman now, and she said it's also a big deal. Although this is the first I've heard of like people bringing in CBD and stuff, which apparently a lot of CBD products are totally bullshit and don't actually do anything for you. So I feel like a lot of people are just letting themselves get scammed into that because it's weed, sort of, not really.
Weed, sort of, not really.
It's a part of the cannabis plant, but it's like the other part that doesn't necessarily make you high. So it's kind of bullshit.
Did we mention this was November 19th? What's November now?
It's the 28th.
It's November now?
The 28th.
November 28th is November
The 19th
now.
was Monday, so we did not cover that if you got it then.
Oh, it's someone drew the 3 of us and then a bunch of drawings of me. Their name is 24NTHOMP Nthomp on Instagram, and they are really, really talented.
Oh yeah, that's on our. We posted that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We posted that doodle. Yeah.
And
Go
then
check
we got
that
another
out.
bit.
I'm gonna look at it now.
And they got another bit, which is some noodle bun art. Back at it again. Drew my little thing that I put up on Thanksgiving that said "Eat food, suck dick, make art," and it was just this little cute drawing of my head.
Oh wait, I never saw that.
I just reposted.
Yeah, put that in the
Instagram.
in the thing.
But yeah, thank you
That's
guys.
amazing.
You guys
Thank
are
you.
awesome.
This next one is from Wade. Hello again, dudes. I have several things to say. This shouldn't be too long. First are my questions for Alex and Yaman. Was there any specific thing that made you decide to study what you did, or was it the areas of studies themselves that attracted you? And for Patrick, how much can you bench?
That was awesome. I'm gonna never live that down.
That was fucking good. Okay. Oh, Patrick, why don't you go first?
No,
I think
you
your
go
answer
first.
will be a little shorter. I think you should go first.
I don't want
Go
to
ahead.
talk about it.
Go ahead.
Well, currently, I haven't done Max Bench in a while because it's apparently bad for you. If you don't do a lot of back workouts, it'll make you arch your shoulders forward, and I don't really do a lot of back stuff. But last time I tried, it was 250, which is not very much.
250?
230.
230? Okay.
Yeah.
It's more than I could do. So props.
Not very much.
I studied journalism partially because it was pretty flexible. Because like I knew I could change my mind on what I was interested in at any time. And that bet paid off because I thought originally I wanted to be like a dumbass film critic or something. And now I want to do the exact opposite and do politics. And I don't even want to write about
You want to be a
things.
dumbass politics guy.
Yeah, now I just want to be a dumbass politics guy. Not even someone who writes about politics, but just someone that like makes like that good video audio content about politics. So I really shifted gears, and thankfully journalism is flexible enough to let me do that. So otherwise I would have had to change majors like 3 million times.
I recently did a job interview, and someone asked me why I had to get off at I couldn't work till after 5 on Wednesdays, and I said, I record this intercontinental thing between the Virginia and London, and I put the most
good.
amazing spin on it.
Intercontinental.
That's good. I like that. Keep that
It's
up.
a news organization. It's informative.
How about you, Yaman? Why did you choose whatever it is you do?
Applied computer science with the concentration in game design. I knew I wanted to do something that had to do with video games, but like I was no longer in that I want to be a video game tester mindset. So I was like, I need to do something that's profitable, that is reliable, that's within the industry. So I chose that.
Good. Yeah, being a video game tester actually sucks ass. Apparently.
Yeah, I read about it.
Like
I
a
read
QA
about
person.
how you don't really usually get to choose what you play, and you play for a long time,
Yeah.
like long periods of time.
Here, play this Burger King Midnight Madness game for 27
For
hours.
8 hours. Yeah, and then yeah.
Second, I mentioned tattoos in my last email, which you read and then proceeded to shit on because I'm a dummy. Hadn't listened to the podcast in order, and only 2 episodes hadn't heard before sending the last email were the ones where you talked about tattoos. It's okay. Planning to cover myself, and I'm already making some progress. Haven't gotten 3 more since the last email, which was 2 months ago. I want more, so if each of 3 of you pick something cool, I'll get it tattooed on me, and then become a patron with
That's
my
too much
leftover money.
responsibility.
Too much.
Way too much responsibility.
I think that you should definitely get what you would like on your body.
Get a
Like
silhouette.
people talk about all the time how someone will, and this is completely different. Obviously, what you are saying sounds like, here, pick a design that you like, and then I'll get that on me. And there's people who get like celebrities' faces tattooed on them, and then the celebrity will see that and then comment like, why the fuck would you do that? And then the person will get all angry. It's just like, well, I was thinking of you. It's just like, but why did you get my face on you or something like
Yeah,
that?
right.
I think that you should get what you want on you.
Here's the tattoo I want you to get. I want you. I don't know if you keep up with basketball. If you do, pick a random team. If you don't, go on Google, get a list of them, and pick a random team, and then get tattooed on your arm that team 2019 champions.
Don't actually do that.
Do it for the Wizards, especially.
You know that? Did you see that dude who got Jordan's jersey tattooed on his entire back?
That's
Yeah, that was-
intense.
That was a
It
lot.
was one of those things. It's that great subreddit. It was his awful taste but great execution.
Yes, that's a great description.
Get a
I like
Washington
birds. Get a
Capital.
bird.
I'm a big hockey fan specifically of the Washington Capitals. If you get a really high quality, realistic tattoo of Alex Ovechkin's face,
I thought you were gonna
I
say
will
something
love
like
you
his
forever.
nutsack.
specifically
Get
of
the goalie's helmet tattooed onto your
Yeah.
face so it looks like you're
you're
wearing a
always
helmet
wearing
all the
a
time.
helmet.
I think you
Get
should,
Alex Ovechkin.
And you're always safe.
Get Alex Ovechkin's face tattooed on your face so you always look like Alex Ovechkin.
If you
Star
want my
NHL
actual
player.
opinion, though, again, just a bird. Birds look nice on
Birds are
everybody.
dope. Birds are dope. Get like 3 different kinds of birds, like a cardinal,
Also
a blue
insects.
jay, and an oriole.
Insects are really
Insects
good.
are
Little
cool.
beetles.
Yeah. What else? Big into heavy metal, deathcore type stuff. Only ever heard you guys talk about rap. What do you guys think about that kind of music? Never heard of it. Doesn't
You've heard of it.
exist.
You never heard it, though.
No, I've never heard it.
Never
Never
heard
heard
it,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Unfortunately, sorry to say, bud.
I like all the Doom soundtracks, and I know that's probably some pussy shit compared to what you listen to, but
yeah,
Doom's 2016 soundtrack is really, really good.
it's dope. No gatekeeping, but the Doom soundtrack is cool. If that counts.
I
as
heard
metal,
gay
I'm in.
peeping, and I was just like,
Hey, I heard gay something. I don't know. I heard gatekeeping or something. I don't know.
No gatekeeping. Please rate my cats. The fluffy black one is Felicia. The one with the collar is
fuck.
Max, and the
Oh,
fat one is
fuck.
red.
I have to see. Yeah, send me pictures of this cat.
All right.
Pull it up.
I'm gonna send y'all pics. This is cute.
picked the wrong email.
This is cute. The blue collar one, and then this. Ooh, this one is just lying on that keyboard. She's a star.
Fuck.
Okay, there's that one.
Wow,
This
those are
other
cute.
one. What is this shot between your legs, man? Like this photo is like 75% your legs, and then your cat sitting in the sun.
Whoa, dude, did your cat draw the things on that paper in the second picture?
I like how it's holding the little pen.
Yeah, it looks like you just got finished drawing.
It's real Stussy S.
Oh, and that is artsy between through the legs.
The
I
leg
like
window.
that. Look at the sun.
Look at the little gold
sun.
watch he's wearing too.
These are so cute. I like the one.
cat or the-
On the left
I like,
wrist.
Oh,
We're just
yeah.
peeping all over this person. Look at all of his desks. See if we can find any personal information.
Hey man, why do you have a double-ended dildo on your
The
nightstand?
state of your desk.
Hey, it's weird
is
that you have the social
so
security
annoying,
number.
dude. Clean that shit up. Oh my god. What are you
trying to-
doing?
Does the black cat in the last picture have its eyes open or closed?
Closed.
They look
Yeah,
pretty
it's,
close
like,
to me. I don't know how
super.
you're having a
Okay.
hard time seeing
Okay.
that.
All right. Okay. All right.
It looks
I was
like
just
if
asking.
a border collie was a cat.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't
Uh-huh.
the last picture. There's like 7 more.
Oh my
Now that
God.
I look at the picture of the desk, and it really does look like that cat drew those little things, and it's super cute.
I
I
know,
like
right?
that a lot.
There's a Spider-Man pillow.
Yep.
I love. Ooh, I like that Spider-Man
That cat's
pillow.
like bashful, like he's covering his eyes. He doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah. I like the cat. I think that same cat is standing next to the painting on the bed frame.
Look at the powerful calves on whoever's sitting on that leather couch.
Yeah, very powerful. How much do you
Anyway.
squat?
I'm sure they don't appreciate us analyzing the photos. but
Oh,
anyway.
right here it says your social security
My eyes
number
are
is.
like a scouter from Dragon Ball. I'll
Yeah.
notice power. I can't help it.
Thank you for your email, Wade. Always appreciate.
I want to
that.
read the next one.
Go for it, idiot.
Wow, it actually begins with me. This is from Thomas Isley, or Isley. Hi. So I have one question specifically for Patrick, and one for whoever it is there at the time. So they assumed that Yaman wouldn't be here. Pat.
Hey, fuck you, whoever wrote that email.
Yeah, fuck you, Thomas.
Fuck you.
Patrick's
Yeah,
question.
Thomas.
Do you ever feel embarrassed
I
or
love you.
ashamed when you tell people you haven't gone to college? Especially when Alex and Yaman talk about it. I ask because I always feel embarrassed when I tell people I'm not in school but working. They just seem really judgmental about it, and it gets to me. No. Because I did go to college for 10 minutes.
It shouldn't get to you. What I guess I can get a bit judgy about is when you're not in college and you're not working. You're just
for
not
sure.
doing anything.
I-
You're not
I
progressing.
don't
That-
judge people
and I
who
know,
are trying to do stuff and can't do stuff.
but they're trying. But they're
Yes,
trying. They're
that's-
doing
I assume
something.
that's
Like
what you meant.
they're trying. And I know I shouldn't be judgmental either way. But like, if you're not in college but you're doing something, you're
Actively trying to get a job.
making. You're actively trying. You're making money. Or you're trying to make money. That's
Feet on pavement.
just as good as going
something.
to college.
I think it's
But,
quite fair to be judgmental of someone who's not trying to do anything with their lives.
It's like seeing someone who is in a certain shape at the gym. They're at the gym, dude. What are you
Yeah.
judging for?
Exactly. Yeah.
The next question, which is for everyone, I assume, if you gained points or levels for doing stuff like in The Sims or Skyrim in real life, would you try to do more? Try to learn more stuff. Would you try to do more? This is not worded greatly, and this is completely worded normally. I don't know why I'm tripping over this. In real life, would you try to do more / try to learn more stuff? I feel like seeing a bar go up as I learn in real life would be really encouraging.
Actually,
I would
yeah.
probably do more, yeah.
I think I would.
I mean, yeah. You know what helps me get through college? There's like a thing that shows you your progress on your degree, and there's literally a bar that says percentage completed. And I like watching that bar go up each semester because it feels like I'm progressing.
I'm trying to. This actually applies. I'm trying to learn Spanish again, and I'm doing Duolingo.
Shit's
And
great.
Duolingo does a great job of always making sure you're on your shit, and has all these award incentives that are amazing.
Yeah, I just completely gave up on that.
Yeah, honestly, I enjoy doing Duolingo because it's an addictive, I gotta make progress kind of thing. I don't know what it is about our
something that sponsor in. That was good.
something about our primitive minds loves a good ringtone and
Progress
a
bar.
progression
Because
bar.
in life that you don't have progress bars. You're sort of left to sort of see when things are happening. But if you had a progress bar for when a pot would boil, I feel like you'd appreciate that a lot.
Exactly.
It's like when I was trying to lose weight, so I was running. There was a game that measured how far you ran, and then you'd get points for it, and then there was a whole game tied to those points, and then you could use those and play. That was fun.
Oh, we fucking responded to this one.
Next email is from Rebecca. Hey guys, a couple of weeks ago you guys were talking about how much you enjoyed games like For Honor and how lame combat has become with the invention of guns. It inspired me to create some art of you guys as fighters from different eras of time. I drew Alex as a medieval prince because he kept talking about how much he wanted to wield a broadsword. I based him off of Prince Caspian from Chronicles of Narnia as well as Siegfried from Soul Calibur 5. For Patrick, I drew him as a Roman gladiator and used references from the movie Gladiator as well as Thor Ragnarok for his drawing. Finally, for Yaman, I used Bayek from Assassin's Creed Origins as a reference, so Yaman is a Magi in ancient Egypt. You guys can do whatever you want with these drawings. My Instagram is at Becky_Seb. We'll be posting these shortly on the Prude's Instagram, by the way. So it's probably up by the time you listen to this.
Send it to me shortly. So.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
I already dropped it in the group chat a while ago. You could probably just skim through that. Also, I was wondering if you guys had any specific items of clothing that make you feel super confident or you just enjoy a lot. For me, my favorite outfit would be a pretty cool pair of denim shorts and an old polo sport t-shirt with a marlin on the front. Sorry for such a long email. I hope you guys enjoy the art and have a good Thanksgiving. Rebecca. I always feel very powerful when I wear this denim jacket I got. I found it when I was thrifting the last time I visited New York, and it was an amazing, like high quality, like Levi denim jacket, and it was only $20. Great deal, great jacket. Still happy about it. So the only problem with denim is that I never know when to wear it, but I do like it when I do wear it.
I like hoodies.
Hoodies are good. I've been wearing more hoodies lately.
And my boots. I love my boots.
Boots are powerful. I'd say boots are also a very powerful piece of clothing.
This might be like a cheating option, like a cheating answer, because like it should make everyone feel confident. But like suits, like tuxedos.
I was gonna say that.
I fucking love any excuse to wear a suit.
You do look pretty dashing in a suit.
I mean, I feel like everybody knows
not
that's
completely
why.
true.
I have a really good. I didn't feel the same way until I got a really good tailor. Actually, really close to George Mason. This like Asian family does an incredible job, and I had them tailor all my work clothes and all my suits. And now I love all of them so much. I really want to like go home to like wear my suit because I got it tailored, but I haven't had a chance to wear it since then. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that front. So thank you for your email.
And you do not archive this one. So
Which one?
Fucking idiot.
Oh,
you
fuck.
immediately archived it. Thank you. I'm trying to get in contact with this person so we can post their shit. Anyway,
She already said we.
I'm
could
going to
post
read
it.
this one now.
To me, but it's okay.
Aries San. I would read that as phonetically as possible. This is entitled Juuling and Stool. Fun. LMAO. Kids at my school vape all the fucking time. For example, our band director lets us eat lunch at the band room, and every day at least 3 or 4 kids will hotbox one of the practice rooms, and it's fucking hilarious. Our director hasn't figured it out yet. What a fucking idiot. But one of the kids is 18, so it's like legal for him. But the rest of them are underage. I've heard about the schools that are cracking down on vaping and Juuls and stuff. Like this kid I know that told me there's an Escape the Vape poster in his school's bathroom.
No.
But I doubt anyone will find out. And even if they do, I don't think anything will happen. Like people give each other pills and edibles and shit between classes a lot, and nothing has ever happened. EJ.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just imagining taking an edible after like biology or something.
God.
How do you?
An edible before Panda.
Oh my god. You don't even need that.
Yeah.
You get high off of his like pheromones. Remember when he laid Spread Eagle when he was talking about Cleopatra?
Oh no.
He was great.
That was awesome.
He was great because it was a World History 1 class that was for seniors only.
For idiots, yeah.
So, but like he didn't treat it like, oh, you're seniors, so I'm gonna. He was like, color in this map.
We would
and then
trade
get out. Like,
tests when we were. You remember that?
Oh
shit?
my god,
You know,
he just didn't give a shit. He didn't
in
care.
school, you'll have like the system where like they trying to crack down on cheating, so they'll give like in order A B test sheets, so they have different answers for different pages. And we would just switch them. He would look at us while we were doing, and we would just copy each other's answers. It was amazing.
Didn't we also like we graded each other's quizzes or homework?
But we
or
could do it in pencil,
and it was just
so we would just erase it.
Everybody had pencils and erasers.
Oh, man, got that one wrong. Never mind. Looks like it's right.
I mean, oh wait, I mean you did get it right.
My mistake.
Silly me.
You guys are
That was
the
weird.
worst students.
He was
No,
that was one of those classes
World
where
History
people
1
did not know
class.
how to fucking shut the fuck up.
Oh,
It
man.
was so many times where, and I totally agree with him, where it's just like the I'll wait thing. It's like some person
I
fucking
hate that.
blabbing their mouth off like on the left side of the room, which was all the cool kids for some reason.
Right.
What if someone just
They
kept
get such
going?
attitude with them.
They'd bring their DSs.
Oh yeah,
What
they
the
put
fuck?
Mario Kart in the
They'd play
back. Those were
Mario
like
Kart in the back.
the fucking druggies.
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck.
There was the one kid in that we're just gonna be talking about this because one kid who sat behind me who was like extra cool. I don't remember his name. Something to start with a K. He
Behind you? Hang on. It was me, Armin to my right, and are you talking about the person to the right of Armin?
maybe they were behind us.
Did you sit in our row or did you sit one in front of us? Because I remember you sat one in
Who
front
was
of
the
us.
skinny
and then-
black kid that I sit next to? Not Alex Hall. There was a kid that would be like sometimes absent from your row that I would take his seat sometimes.
Oh. That's right.
Doesn't matter. Anyway,
Irrelevant.
the guy behind us, a few rows in the cool DS kid row. You remember how the day we showed up to get our graduation uniforms, they were all in those boxes, and then they would call names. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he hadn't been in school for like a week or something. And then he was in line, and I just saw him, and I tapped on his shoulder because I hadn't talked to him in a while. And then he turned around, and he just looked fucking blitzed. Like he was just so like red in the face, and he had like dark complexion, so it was like hard to tell.
Why?
It was
What
so
happened?
fucked. I could not, like, his eyes were so dark. It was like it looked like he just got punched in the face like 60 times.
You're not talking about Nana,
No.
are you? I can't. I don't know who the fuck you're talking. You're not
I'll
talking
bring it
about
up
Alex.
afterwards because I don't want to guess at his name. But
Oh, all right.
yeah, it was just super scary, like out of nowhere. And he didn't say a word to me because I was just like, I didn't say anything when he turned around. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then he turned back around. Never spoke to him again. That was like the strangest thing in the world. Anyway, continue your opinion.
God. This next one's from Abigail. Hello, dudes. Been listening to your podcast constantly for the past couple of weeks, and it's definitely my favorite podcast. You guys remind me a lot of a group of friends of mine who used to make a really funny podcast called Totally Unbiased Podcast. Maybe I only thought it was funny because I was friends with them, but still, I get that a lot. I get that a lot. Like, you have something that's only funny amongst your friends that you think is the funniest fucking thing in the world, but in reality
This
it's just
podcast.
stupid. Yeah, this podcast is a good
Stop.
example.
Do you guys really think this is the funniest thing in the world?
I made the
Oh,
mistake
you
of,
don't?
Made the mistake of listening to one of your older episodes during a lecture. Patrick is talking about how there was this one guy that looked like he was drowning kids and how he explained to his coworkers how that is bad. Then the coworker responds
yeah.
with, quote, "We don't want weak kids." It took every ounce of me not to laugh
Yeah, it was
during
pretty
that
strange.
class. I remember that. That was funny as fuck. Also, Yaman, you just liked one of my tweets. My clout level is now 1,000. Thank you.
What is this person?
Abigail Kemper.
Abigail.
Oh my god.
Were you
I want to
Specifically,
them up?
what
it
the
wasn't
tweet
a, it
was.
wasn't
Was
a
it a good tweet?
coworker that told me that. This story, it was like a bunch of people who come in for teaching camps. It was a guardian for one of the camps. So I guess that's kind of a coworker, but when I think of a coworker, something like
We don't want weak kids.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
that.
one of my favorite moments.
All right. This one.
She had another one
also
from
from
Abby.
also from Abby. Just following
I'm
up on
reading
what
this
Yaman
one.
said. Fine.
You can read it if you want.
Fat Kid Deals is a great Twitter account. Yaman is looking out for all the
It's
broke
fucking
people
incredible.
in the world.
Fuck yeah. You're welcome. It's lit.
Oh, this is
ahead,
like
Patrick.
this is just the reiteration of the same email.
Oh, I forgot we got this next email. I must have gotten this
I'm
when I
gonna
was
read
half
this one for
conscious.
sure, though. This
Go
one I'm
for
definitely
it.
reading. Is it still too early to start putting up Christmas stuff? Oh yeah, I forgot about Christmas. Vanessa Hernandez. Hello, dudes that are prude. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone got a chance to rest and spend time with their loved ones. I had work Black Friday, but it wasn't too bad because the mall that I work at is a dead mall. So IDK would it? Fuck! Why can't I read? IDK is. I can't
believe
in you. This is why I read
explain.
emails.
Shrugging emoji. Fuck. Now that Thanksgiving is over, it's beginning to look like Christmas. Michael Bublé has emerged from his cave. There's a spike in YouTube views with a certain Mariah Carey song. The halls are now decked. Florida is going to be having a supposed cold front this week, so which is going to be in the 60s. So yeah, winter.
Fuck
feelings-
off. The 60s.
I mean, it's Florida, so
God.
I work at a mall. That
Poor
means
thing.
the holiday sales are going to soon going to happen. And if there's one thing I hate, it's the crowds that bombard the store. I get all panicked, especially if there's children touching and running around the store. Wow. Like seriously,
like touching each other or
touching
touching
around
the
the store.
Items. Okay. I don't know.
These kids won't stop touching.
Children
Just
touching around the
what's the Octodad thing? With just arms shooting out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god.
Like seriously, some parents don't know how to parent at all because they let their children run wild within our store, knowing that we have extremely pricey vases and religious figurines. They can easily. Why do you have kids in this store? We have signs around the store that says the cliche: "You break, but what you pay for." No, Fuck.
Break what you pay for.
Okay,
Patrick,
it's worded
please.
weirdly.
You break it, you
The
buy it.
cliche, shut up, and that's not at all what it says. Says the cliche, you break, you pay. But how am I supposed to read that normally? But
That
I
was
don't
four
shut
word-
up.
you
But I
break,
don't
you
think
pay.
that's enough to stop the unnatural forces that are children. They are pretty unnatural. Right now, as I'm writing this, the store is empty and it's been horrible for sales. Are millennials killing the mall industry? All right, question time. Question time. What do you consider the people born between 1997 and 2000 to be? Are we part of the millennials or are we part of Generation Z? I could relate with both generations since I had an older sibling born in 92 and a younger sibling born in 02, with me being born in 97. What are your thoughts? Have a nice day, Vanessa. P.S. Here are pictures of the weapons and rest of the store. The weapons?
Oh shit! You guys have a lot of swords.
P.S. Here are the guns.
God.
Oh, please load. Oh my god.
Send it.
Pena, send it. I'm distracted.
This is
Send it.
intense, dude.
That's so
Holy-
cool. Wait,
Dude,
what does the sign say?
I would end
is-
everyone's existence.
I'm gonna
Holy shit!
zoom in.
There's a
enhance.
Hylian. There's a Zelda shield in there. A Hylian shield. That's crazy.
Send it. There it is.
That's so sick, dude.
It says 10% off knives, swords, and shields.
That's right up my
Video
alley,
game.
dude. Are these
cool.
now? Are these like just replicas? Or are these actual like weapons I could use?
No, they forged them on site in this mall.
Fucking, I hate you. I hate all of you. Oh.
They went out to the sword farm and
I want to work here.
killed a couple sword cows, and those just kind of popped out. Oh, this is literally like For Honor. Like everything you need is in the store.
This is amazing.
That's awesome. Jesus
We're
Christ.
not describing these things at all, but it's just like display cases and racks full of katanas and halberds and swords and medieval shields and helmets and crap. It looks like I would want to work here. I don't know
This is
how
pretty
you
dope.
could go a day without just playing with one of these swords.
Yeah, dude, I would fuck around with swords way too much to work here. To answer your question, I think
Millennial.
I don't care.
I don't care. I think we are technically Gen Z mostly. Millennial is just such a weird broad
Ginseng?
term now.
Isn't that an
Gen
herb?
Z. I feel weird. I think of myself as a millennial, but then when I hear people say in their 30s say that they were also a millennial, I was like, oh no, we're not in the same generation at all.
People
So,
do
yeah.
not like being called millennials
It's just stupid. It's a stupid
because
word.
now it's a derogatory, like, oh, you're a child ruining, begging for things person.
Yeah. Patrick, why did
Yeah,
you
but see,
ask
it's
for her
usually-
Instagram when she already gave it in the fucking
I'm
email?
the worst.
You
Did
idiot.
she actually?
Yes, she just responded.
Where is it?
She just responded with it, and in the original email, she already gave it. It's
I'm
in
a
the second
fucking
paragraph.
idiot. Well, when she listens to this, she'll enjoy it.
Yeah, she'll understand how much of an idiot you are.
That's weird.
Um,
her name is Renee Sublet, but her Instagram is Becky Sub.
Yeah, we've been over this. She explained
Yeah.
that her name is
Becky,
Rebecca.
short for Renee.
Shut the
Renee.
fuck up. All right, I really
don't
want to go to
care
bed.
about what they label.
I
my
am
generations.
sleepy. Thank you again for listening to this podcast. If you want to send us any of those emails, any of those fan art, you can send it to prudedudes@gmail.com. You can also follow us at prudedudes on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to follow us on our personal accounts, I'm at AlexPena97. Yaman is at its_Yaman, and Patrick is at PatrickCharlton5. And we also can't go without giving a special shout out to all of our incredible patrons who put their hard-earned money towards this amazing thing. That's Cassidy, David Brewer, David Brody Millard, Aaron, Kelly, Everso Joe, Katie, Marianne, Monty, Pip Scallyweb, Rebecca, Tara, Vanessa, and Jessica. Thank you all so much for everything you do. You're incredible people.
Thank
I
you.
hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Also hope everyone else listening had an amazing Thanksgiving. Thank you for letting us have the 1 week hiatus. I was exhausted and had family
I
visiting.
was pretty fucking tired too.
Family is exhausting, and family is also even more exhausting when you have a pound of food in your stomach. So glad we could take the week
I love
off.
how we didn't talk about Thanksgiving
It's
at all.
not that
We
fucking
didn't-
interesting.
It's like yeah,
Okay.
eat.
I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest,
unless you
this
have
is-
an incredible story where someone like got stabbed, like
I mean, my cousin proposed to his girlfriend, and then 10 minutes later, he was like, "We have another announcement. She's pregnant."
I feel like
That was
that's
interesting.
Did they already know beforehand?
Did who?
Did your cousin know that they were pregnant beforehand, and then he proposed to make it seem less bad?
I would assume so. Like if he was just like, everybody come here, we have an announcement. He gave a speech and then he proposed, and everyone was like, oh, whoa, whoa, and then everybody went back to what they were doing, and then like a few minutes later, he was like, wait, no, come back. We have another announcement.
That's wild.
She's pregnant.
I know
Like, because like it's either that they knew beforehand or she like took a pregnancy test in the bathroom immediately afterwards.
Yeah, well, the joke was like, wow, you guys work fast or something.
That's
like that.
funny.
Like, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that was the highlight of your Thanksgiving. That's good. Anyways, thank you again for listening, guys, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.